Hey guys, welcome back. So today, for me, is a really interesting episode in comparison to. I would say I don't think I've seen anyone open one of these yet. Granted, I don't religiously follow some of the big PokeTubers. Really, the biggest PokeTuber I religiously follow would be Vintage Pokemon Hunter Brothers. Just because I don't want to go back and try and rewatch all of Leonhardt stuff, and in my opinion, he's not my favorite to watch. Why is this one different? Because we have one extra unopened action flips pack, and we have a whole box of them, which is supposed to have 24 of these. So I got it for a great deal. I got this for $5, and then I got the whole box for 55. Obviously, way better if I just would have bought multiple of these. There was multiple of these for sale, but I didn't want to buy a whole bunch of them. If you don't know, the sealed boxes go for like 150 to 170, and the packs I want to say roughly like $8 to $10. So good deal on this one, anyways. But of course, would have been a way better deal just to have bought like two of these, since these were $55 from a certain seller. Obviously, lucked out. I'm going to go ahead and start with this. So if you don't know, and this one I didn't know, and I had already sold a few of them. Well, I already sold all the ones that I had, and they sold really quickly, which was really strange to me, and they bid up pretty well. These can be PSA'd, just like the Pokemon coins. I think PSA will literally PSA anything. So what is the advantage to that? Why would you do that? Some of these go for big money. For example, a Mewtwo one, a Blastoise one, a Charizard one. PSA go for a decent amount of money. So let's go ahead, and we've got a Doug Trio Diglett. And since all these are packed fresh, it's no guarantee they'll come back 10s. I do see some damage on some of them. This Grimer is actually damaged, which is really sad. But I would say in comparison to the cards, well, I was going to say in comparison to the cards, these have a lot of surface scratches. That's rough. I even remember having these as a kid, and they survived better conditioning. So, I mean, the back is clean. I don't know if these ones are worth PSA grading. We'll probably still shoot for it. But you can make out big. For example, if we just get one PSA Charizard, like PSA 9 Charizard, we've already pretty much cut our losses. However, I don't know if the low pop of that 9 Charizard is based on because no one really collected these as much as the cards as a kid, and these weren't sold for as long, and they're a much shorter run, or if it's now apparently actually opening the packs, they don't come that great. That was really sad. A lot of those, I think 3 out of 4 of those had a gigantic scratch on them. But we're going to go ahead and try our luck with this box. I want to try and do some different content. I've been waiting for this pack for a while, actually. I'm wanting to do some different content. I've done a lot of PSA video send-ins, and none that have really come back besides the official quick grades. But I figured we'd do this. I'd say a lot of this would probably be PSA stuff. I think there's a lot of excitement in this because not a lot of people have these. They're just kind of one of those off things. They're like the Topps cards. Okay, so this is in better condition. At least the front one is. So we've got a Voltorb, an Electrode, so that's nice. A Hitmonlee, which is nice. Okay, so I believe Abra Alakazam is worth some money, so that's nice. And these ones are looking in better condition than the other one. I wonder if it's because that pack was a loose pack, and maybe the person got it beat up. Growlithe goes for some money too. So we're actually, as long as these come out well PSA, once we get them back, 10 years from now, that's pretty decent right there. So one pack, I'm feeling pretty good. Now granted, these don't sell like hotcakes as far as I'm aware of. I would say they sell definitely way slower than the cards, but I would say that there is a market for them. And that would explain why people bid on my stuff so rapidly when I sold these. Is that damage or the art? It's really hard to tell with these because, so that's just the art. Because, they're made to be kind of hard to look at. Got a Cubone. So these ones are definitely coming out better. So I wonder if the loose pack, oh man, the one that was going to be a big ticket has somewhere glue? I don't know if it scratches, but that is a... Oh, it's not a Blastoise. It's just a Squirtle Wartortle. That's weird. It didn't go all the way up to the final evolution. Huh. And the other thing too, guys, I don't have a whole bunch of research, but I don't think we can get Blastoise or Charizard or Venusaur in this one. This is the Premier Edition, and so there is some different Pokemon for these. Man, I'm hoping we can get still Blastoise into a Charizard. I know that there was a Series 1 Charizard. I don't know if there was a Premier Edition, so we might be opening this for hope of best luck. You know, we'll get enough PSA and we'll turn around money later. So that's not damaged. That's just like the fiber still coming off. So these are really hard to make because they're just not as simple as cards. The material is different. Oh, so we've got a Pidgeotto again, and we've got a Raichu. That's good. That's good. That is good. So that's good. In fact, that one specifically, 100% for now, we are going to put in a sleeve. It might seem excessive, but you really want to treat these pretty much the same as a card in terms of delivery, packaging, and, you know, the fact that it can be PSA graded. So that one specifically, it's going to be penny sleeve. Now, for me, with these, because of their shape and how thick they are, I would probably put it like that, and then I'll actually put this in a card saver versus a top loader. You can put them in a top loader, they'll still fit, but because I have card savers that I don't like using for cards, I think they're fine for these. It'll keep them from moving pretty well, and I think these you can afford, they don't really bend like cards, and that's why I just don't like about card savers. And granted, as far as I'm tracking the PSA or BGS, I'm tracking that none of the card company graders grade against warping to an extent. Obviously, if it's a crease, that's different, but I'm tracking that they don't grade against warping, so that's good. And it's nice to see that, you know, Pokemon took into account that, you know, if they didn't put something in there, the packaging would not protect the stuff enough. So that's good to see that they did that from the get-go. So we got a Hypno Drowsy, we've got a Raticate Rattata, an Executor, and another Diglett Dig Trio. These are actually all coming out in better condition for sure than that individual pack, so that's good. We'll probably get all these PSA'd except for those really badly damaged ones. We're probably going to mail one of those out to the first prize winner, because apparently that person still hasn't gotten their prize. Now, to be honest though, it could be the mailing method. I think it could still be in transit. The mail is super slow, guys. So for example, I bought this and this was priority shipping and stuff, and this took it got shipped November 27th. Today is December 14th. So if that gives you any sort of reference in time of how long the mail is going, it's a really long time. Okay, so Machoke, Machop, but no Machamp. I wonder if Series 1's just had the all three evolutions. For something that's Premier Edition, I'm kind of disappointed right now. There's only 40 to collect, as in different Pokemon. I guess really the only way we can make out is if we got like another Pikachu Raichu, because, you know, that's a pretty popular one. I don't think there was a Charizard Blastoise in this. Okay, so Magneton, Clefairy, Clefable, Bellsprout. Oh, one is stuck somewhere. It is behind you, and it is a Graveler Geodude. So yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting any final evolutions if it's a 3-evolution form, which is kind of rough. I think I had some Series 1's one, and I did not hold on to them. I definitely had them as a kid. I remember collecting these as a kid, but I don't remember opening the packs. I always got them loose from, like, family or friends or, like, cousins, I guess. Alright, some different ones so far. There's one stuck. Getting quite a few Grimers and Diglets at this point. At a certain point, you have to ask yourself, when do you want to stop opening these? You know what I haven't even bothered to realize? I haven't bothered to realize that there's a pattern. These ones probably are a pattern. They're probably not as randomized as like the booster boxes and stuff for cards because of how few there are to go through. I have to go back on the camera, but it's too late now, so I'm filming. Oh, so I don't think we had Wigglytuff yet, so that's an addition. And I can't tell if we're going to count this against the cards. I'm seeing it on all of them, and I think it's just a matter of accounting for the fact that these are just made really weird. And you can sort of see what I'm talking about. It's like, I wouldn't really call it scratches as much as it's kind of like just the material itself. There's like a gluey stain on it, but I don't know if they account that against it because it seems to be on all of them, and I doubt that's damaged. This is a sealed box and sealed packs, and they're a little bit more durable than other things. Granted, things definitely weren't as durable back in the day for Pokemon. It's kind of funny, it's the opposite. Things were built to last. No, for Pokemon, things were not built to last. Oh, so we've got a Kabutops, a Metapod, and Caterpie, and Amistar. So I don't think we've pulled those ones yet. So it's not completely patternized. There's definitely some randomness, I believe. And I think that also the ones that come in each pack are a little bit random. It seemed for a second like it was the same ones. Like if I pull a Grimer, there was another card in. Or, oh, we got an Ekans and Arbok. That's pretty good. Got an Eevee Flareon. I know the Series 1 Flareon goes for a decent amount. I'm wondering if the Premier Flareon goes for a decent amount. Pharaoh Sparrow and Graveler Geodude. So I'm actually going to... These two, the Arbok looks like it's in really, really, really good condition. Like, I know it's hard to tell, but I think the Arbok looks like it's in really good condition. So I'm going to penny sleeve both of these two for now, and then move them over to some additional card savers I have. And then we're going to, of course, like, yeah, I know it's not going to hold right now. I'm also going to fold it when I put it in the card saver. I just want to show that that's my plan to do that. So that Flareon, I don't know if they made an Eevee Vaporeon, Eevee Jolteon for this either. There's not, I didn't do a whole bunch of research on this. That's 100% for certain, guys. I just saw that there was a really good opportunity because these are about $150 a box. The person asked for $55. They said they knew they were selling it for a loss. Gloom Oddish, a Persian Meowth. There is an Eevee Jolteon, which means there's got to be an Eevee Vaporeon. So we're going to go ahead and move these here and penny sleeve this Jolteon. Okay, so now we're hoping we find the Vaporeon because getting all three would be pretty fantastic. So for you youngsters out there, Eevee originally only had 3 evolutions, and then eventually Espeon and Umbreon came out. And then I don't know the orders of the other, but I know there's like probably gonna mispronounce it. Sylveon. There's a Leafeon. There's a Glaceon, and I don't know if there's any more. They should make a metal version actually. Now that I think about it. Okay, so another Flareon, not Vaporeon, but Flareon. These two look like they're pretty primo, so I'm gonna sleeve these up. Okay. I was gonna sleeve up Flareon no matter what, anyways. I wouldn't say these are as pretty to look at as the cards, though, to be honest. There was definitely some work put into them, for sure. And as a kid, they were, you know, mesmerizing in terms of, ooh, wow, watch, it changes. Which, you know, actually, now that I think about it, that'd be a really cool way for them to do a card. And they could easily do it. They wouldn't have to do the same, well, maybe they would still have to do that ridge effect, but they've already been texturizing cards, so it's not like it would be impossible. They could do it as like a promo card or something in the series. I don't know. I just think that'd be cool. I think I've had a lot of different styles of ideas of art that they could do that would still reflect and be nostalgic for the series, but be new. Oh, so Ghastly Haunter, that's good. That would be, you know, still kind of nostalgic for the series. Probably bring back some old, you know, people. And they wouldn't have to do whole sets. They could do specialty cards. They've done specialty cards already multiple times. They just did specialty cards for Zamazenta and Zacian. They just did premiere versions of them, of their gold ones. So instead of it being mostly gold, they're like actually black a lot. They're all, you know, and one like a highlight of gold. They're pretty cool cards to look at. Sorry, I had to speak over my furnace the whole time. I'm hoping to get another Raichu. Because for this set, so it looks like there's no Blastoise, Venusaur, or Charizard for this set. So do not buy Action Flip's Premier set if you're hoping to pull those. It looks like the biggest you can get is a Raichu, which isn't that bad. Let's see here. Oh, hey, Hypno, Eradicate, Rattata. I think we've got all 40 besides Vaporeon at this point? And I'm just guessing. I would have to say Vaporeon's in here. That'd be so weird to have a Flareon, Jolteon, and then not have Vaporeon. Vaporeon was out while those other two were out. So let's see here. Oh, another Raichu. So that will definitely be sleeved. And I probably should have spread these out, but granted, I really don't have a good table. I just kind of have this mat. I'm really hoping that the ones I'm sleeving come back really good. I don't know if they count as cards, though. So the reason why that's kind of an issue is because with the PSA, they've got selections for cards, and they've got selections for, like, other things, reholders, and, like, autograph verification, but I don't know what to send these as, so I am going to have to literally make a phone call before I send these in. I have another video idea that I'm pretty excited to do. It's got me nervous. You'll find out why when that video drops to why I'm saying I'm nervous about a video. Because I know it's kind of rare for me. Granted, I definitely get nervous when I do big buys. Like, there's nothing quite as nerve-wracking as spending $1,700, $2,000 when you also have a family to take care of, and the PSA is going slow as can be on, like, a binder of cards. So, like, I do like doing these smaller purchases. Granted, well, I guess I got lucky. This one was $50. Alright, so this one I may not send in because it looks like there's some top damage. It's really hard to tell how they're going to grade these. You know, I've already been waiting on the cards and how they're going to grade the cards. I'm probably going to still send all of these in. I'm just sleeving the ones that I definitely will send in off the bat right away. The others will probably sit for a while to see until those others come back. So I'll probably hold on to these for like 10, 20 years from now until I get my grades. So, speaking of grades, if you don't know, we didn't pull. We bought, oh, that's another Raichu, baby. Boom. I can see the tail. Alright, so we're going to sleeve the Raichu. I'm excited because these Raichus got to be at least 8s. I would say they're 9 to 10s. And I wonder how much they go for. I think I'm going to make out a winner as long as I can sell those and get those graded. I am starting to wonder if they forgot to put Vaporeon in this. I have not been separating them by which one is number 1 through 40, but if you've got Jolteon and you've got Flareon, you've got to have Vaporeon. Oh yeah, so what I was saying about grades. So if you don't know, and we didn't pull it, we happened to notice it, and I guess the original seller didn't notice it. He noticed, so someone sold me a set of cards, and I can't say binder because it wasn't in a binder, but he sold me a set of cards. And there was several nice cards. When it comes bottom line up front, I basically paid like $30 a holo, and some of them being big ticket, like one's a Shadowless Venusaur. However, we don't know exactly what grade that will come back as. We're hoping an 8, but it'll probably be back a 7. Hopefully no lower than a 7. 8, I would have probably broken even just on the one card if you don't include the shipping and the grading costs. So a little bit less than breaking even, but with the other holos, for sure breaking above even. Now, I didn't know how much a Fossil Hollow Mew goes for as a PSA 9 to 10. I think the 9s were in the 2000s. I know the 10s, I think, were at least in the 2000s. But the reason why the one I got was such a big deal is because it has a gigantic misprint bleed on its forehead. And the card looks like it's in pristine condition everywhere else around it. Like in terms of centering, in terms of the hollow, I bet you Wartortle's worth something. So I'm gonna. The other reason, the one I didn't sleeve up was definitely scratched up. I think. I'll go back and relook at it later. But He's got to be worth something. I'm so surprised you have. Maybe they don't have a Porygon because we haven't pulled a Bulbasaur or a Charmander, and so it's so strange that you'd have Pikachu and Squirtle, but you wouldn't have Bulbasaur and Charmander. Man, it sucks that there's no Blastoise or such in this. Oh wow. Okay, so oh no, what? I'm still gonna send them in. Why are these ones stretched up, man? Oh. And just like that, your heart sinks. That's such a big gash. How? That's from the sealed box. So we pulled it. We got a original fossil Japanese Mew that's basically in perfect condition, that has a gigantic misprint hollow bleed on its forehead. Now, granted, luckily several people told me that that bleed will probably count against the grade, especially if I send it to the PSA. However, I'm willing to bet the BGS, especially if called ahead, will not count it against me. So, I'm thinking, I'm going to sleep the Jolteon. I'm thinking that I'm going to call up the BGS and send that one Mew as a separate send-in card. Why? Over the PSA? One, because I don't think the BGS is going to count the misprint bleed against me if I notify it. They might even put it on the label for me, which would be fantastic. Two, that card was in such pristine condition, it might get the infamous BGS Black Label. Okay, so there is a Pokemon God. Nice. Not damaged. That is... Whew. Oh, and we got a Bulbasaur, so we've got all three. We did not get a Vaporeon, but this is definitely a win in my book at the end. Wow, last pull. Fantastic. Granted, I don't know how much these go for compared to, the Series 1 PSA. So this will be interesting. I'm still going to do it and see how it goes. So can't wait to see what those come back as when I'm 58. But yeah, so I know I did that in a set of 20. That fossil Mew I did, the original Japanese fossil Mew. I'm going to swap that out with a different card. I already have the card in mind which I'm going to swap it out with. You'll see that one makes me nervous for a few reasons. The fossil Mew makes me nervous because of the possibility of it losing out on points because of it having a misprint. But I think the BGS will be lenient to it. I think they'll label it for me, and I even think possibly it might get a BGS Black Label. For those who don't know, there is a BGS 10 and a BGS 10 Black Label. So the PSA only has a PSA 10. And so the way it works is PSA grades are worth more than BGS grades of equal account. So a PSA 9 is worth more than a BGS 9. A PSA 10 is worth more than a BGS 10. However, because the BGS went ahead and basically made an 11, is really what the Black Label is, the BGS Black Label 10 is worth significantly more than a PSA Label 10. However, a BGS 10 is only worth slightly less than a PSA 10. So, it is much more beneficial if you believe your card to get the Black Label 10, which is supposedly really hard to do, but people say it is, pretty much probably random. You want to send it into BGS to get the Black Label 10. Now, however, I do not know if BGS is going to be subservient on basically how they see a grade versus a misprint. Well, apparently the PSA is going to see the misprint, and because it's a bleed misprint, they don't label it as a misprint. They label it as an error against the card grade. So I'm hoping, as I said before, if I call ahead to the BGS, if I send it in, if I do a little bit express service and just send the single card in and let them know what to expect, I think I'll get them to put it on the label. I think I might even get a BGS 10 to BGS Black Label 10. And with this being a misprint already, no matter what grade it gets, it will pretty much probably be a pop 1 of 1. If it comes back a 9, it's going to be worth a decent amount of money. If it comes back a 10 with that misprint, it's going to be worth way, way more money than what I paid for it. And if it comes back a BGS Black Label 10, pretty much what I'm looking at is I'm looking at sending these to an actual auction house versus eBay in terms of the buyer that I'm going to need. I've seen this issue already with some of my cards in terms of I just get lowballed. I get it. You want something for a low price. I also want something for a low price. Within reason, when someone said, sure, I got this technically for 50% of its value, but this wasn't an insane purchase in terms of like, if you were trying to get something that's over $1,000 for 50% value. Getting something that's $100 for $50, not the end of the world to both parties, and pretty good for the buyer if that's what he wanted. Sucks for the seller, I guess, but nice of them to do it. But it's not like the end of the world. You can pick up a $20 bill off the road. I know it's not an everyday thing. I'm just saying in comparison, like, yeah, it ain't like you're gonna just. Some people do, but it ain't like you're gonna find like an extra $500 laying on the road. So, and then in terms of higher expenses, so that Fossil Mew already about the misprints and stuff. PSA 9s and 10s go for generally $2,000 or more. If it's BGS Black Label, it's gonna be worth more than $2,000, and if it's BGS Black Label misprint, it's gonna be worth an insane amount of money. Thanks for watching. I hope this action flips. This was actually kind of interesting for me. It was interesting how there was less of the starters than some of these other Pokemon in this box. I don't know if that's on purpose or if I just lucked out, or if I didn't get lucky. I'm really glad we pulled a Charmander and Bulbasaur at the end, undamaged versus the first Charmander we pulled. I am sad we didn't pull Vaporeon. That would have been nice to have completed that set. I'm not that type of guy, but I may actually go out and buy that one individually just to complete that set. Not a collector, but that will definitely help them sell as a collecting item, having complete sets of things like that. Well, I really hope you enjoyed. I hope this was different than necessarily the cards. I think it was. I think it's another item out there for you to either collect or learn about or follow or maybe hype up. I'm surprised how much these are going for. I really am. They did just shoot up though. Like if we'd have done this like 3 to 4 months ago, I think these boxes were like $10-$20 for a sealed box. So they definitely shot up. Everything Pokemon did. I'm about to hit 30 minutes. I don't want to make y'all watch 30 minutes of me rambling. So have a good night. Bye.